We are about to embark upon a series of strange and exciting, dangerous adventures. Adventures that will lead us to all parts of the world.
Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we're looking at Superboy, The Man of Tomorrow, Issue 1. It's a 2023 series from DC Comics under their Dawn of DC banner. And this issue is written by Kenny Porter, art, color, and cover by Jahnoy Lindsey, letters by Lucas Gattoni, edited by Andrew Marino, Katie Kubert, senior editor. That cover is incredibly boring. It would not have gotten me to buy this book. It's a lazy pinup, effectively. They didn't even bother with the background. They just, hey, let's just leave it all white. It's an okay image, it's just a boring cover. It's not great for sales for an issue 1. So we start off with Superboy kind of feeling left out of place because everything got rewritten when they did the rebirth line, and he sort of stopped existing because I think they forgot about him, or Dan DiDio just hates legacy characters, which we saw that with a lot of characters that were suspiciously old characters that were potentially younger that could become stars. We saw it with Wally West, we saw it with Connor Kent, and we saw it with Tim Drake, among others. So he goes back to the Kent farm and kind of just hangs out there for a minute, and Ma Kent gives him a great idea, so he goes to the Fortress of Solitude to see where he might be able to help out. All the terrestrial main problems seem to be taken care of by other heroes, so he looks to the stars, and he sees a whole bunch of unresolved issues of people needing help, so he grabs an unstable teleporter that uses outdated Zeta Beam technology, and it has a translator, so he decides that's his now because it's not going to be missed, and convinces Kellex that this is a good idea. So he immediately teleports out there to the planet Dragoi and comes across some cool looking lizard people that he decides to help because the Dominators are attacking and they have an army of clones. Well, Superboy fights off some of the clones and is doing a great job, but the Dominators are basically just memorizing his battle techniques, and they realize that he could make them a lot of money because somebody managed to splice Lex Luthor's human DNA with Kal-El's Kryptonian DNA, which if you don't know how Superboy's origin happened, there you go. They do sum it up pretty nicely in here, and you get a good overview of his powers, but it looks like he might be in some trouble. And we also meet a team that is going to be prominent next issue. They're called the Cosmeteers, and they look like an interesting group, so we'll see how that plays out. Of course, one of them is a woman who with the side of her head shaved because that's a requirement in entertainment now. Overall, I thought the story was actually pretty good. I hate the art though. I absolutely hate it. It's lazy quasi-manga art. It doesn't have its own real style. It just looks like manga knockoff art. I absolutely did not like it at all. It has all the elements I don't like about manga, like the lazy action lines, the multiple limbs being shot to demonstrate multiple hits, and the wide mouth, over-exaggerated faces, the lack of lips. If he had just had an exaggerated open mouth while crying with gigantic tears, it would have solidified this as some of the worst art I've ever seen in Western comics. But it looks like they're just trying to copy more manga-style comics now because manga's outselling Western comics. Instead of finding good Western artists, they're just trying to mimic manga, and that's exactly what this book looks like. The artist was drawing a manga, it would be fine, but this isn't a manga, this is a Western comic. So I hated the art. Maybe some people will like it, but it's just not for me. But I thought the story was good, so I'd be willing to pick up another issue. $4 is a bit high because I hated the art, but if you could find it for $1 or $2, I'd say it was fine. And like I said, the story was actually pretty good. They did a good job summing up what happened with Connor and where he's been, and kind of going over his origin story a little bit. And I think that was really well done. The story was fast-paced, lots of action. Unfortunately, the art is garbage for me. So I'm going to say if you're gonna pick this up, get it cheap, especially if you don't like manga art. If you like manga art, this is probably going to be in your wheelhouse. If you don't like the art, $1 or $2 tops. That's going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future reviews. If you'd like to help the channel out in other ways, links are in the description to various support methods. And as always, we hope to see you on the next one.